Good morning, students. I, Neelam Verma, welcome you to my next class, Class 6, Chapter 3, Fiber to Fabric. Students, as we all know, their clothes are mainly used to protect us from cold, heat, rain, etc. Even people living in different places wear different types of clothes depending on the climate of that place. For example, generally, people of Gujarat wear cotton clothes. Kashmir, they wear woolen clothes because it's according to the climate of that particular region, they are compelled to wear that sort of clothes. And the material that we use for clothing is called fabric. In this chapter, students, we will learn more about different types of fabric, their properties, and how are they made. Now, learning objectives. Students, you will be able to learn about different types of cloth materials. You will know that some of our clothes are made of materials obtained from plants and animals, or you can say sources of these clothing material. You will study about few examples of fiber like cotton, jute, etc. Which type of soil is required for their growth. And also you will be able to know about the development of clothing material. Yes, it is the history of clothing materials. Can you see? In olden times, human beings just they wrap leaves around their body. Then afterwards, they start using animal skin. And now we are using so many different types of clothes. Yes, in ancient times, they were using just leaves or bark or fur of animals to cover their body. Then slowly, they learned to weave grass and twigs. As a result, they start making baskets and mats. Then after that, they learned some of the plant materials like cotton balls, stems of jute plants that could be spun into fibers. This fiber could be used to weave clothes. But in those days, they were not aware of stitching. They simply used to wrap their body with just a fabric. Even today, that type of unstitched clothes are used. And their examples are sari, dhoti, lungi, turbans, etc. It was only after the invention of sewing needle that stitching was able to come into existence, and nowadays the different types of clothes that we are wearing becomes possible. Do you know that cotton in ancient time they were growing near the river Ganga, and in Egypt it was near Nile river only that they were growing it. Let's learn few of the definitions. Fabric, the material that we use for clothing is fabric. Yarn is the loose threads of which a fabric is made. Fiber is a very thin strands which make up yarn. Then cotton balls are the fruits of cotton plants. Ginning, it's the process of separating cotton fiber from seeds by the process called combing. As we comb our hair, same way. Spinning, making yarn from fibers is called spinning. And sericulture is the rearing of silkworms for the production of silk. Yes, here it will become more clear. On the top we have fiber, then from fiber we get yarn, then fabric, and after fabric only we are able to stitch different clothes. Types of fibers. Students, there are two types of fibers, natural fibers and man-made fibers. Source of natural fibers are plants as well as animals, and man-made fibers are made in factories. Natural fibers, some examples are jute, wool, silk, cotton, linen, etc. Now let's see these fibers. From where do we get them? Jute we get from jute plant, wool from sheep, silk from silkworms, cotton from cotton plants, linen from flax plant. You can see different, very attractive cloths and fabrics even. Now man-made fibers. Man-made fibers are also called artificial fibers or synthetic fibers. They are not provided by nature. Instead, they are manufactured in factories. Few examples of man-made fibers are nylon, rayon, polyester, etc. Now students, let's study the comparison between natural and synthetic fibers. Yes, natural fibers get wrinkled easily. We cannot wear them once we have worn before washing and ironing them. Whereas synthetic fibers don't get wrinkled easily. Natural fibers are not very strong, whereas synthetic fibers are very strong. Natural fibers do not catch fire easily, and that's the reason that it's always been told not to wear synthetic clothes when we are working in kitchen. We should always wear cotton clothes while working in kitchen, as synthetic fibers catch fire very easily. Natural fibers absorb sweat, and that's the reason that it does not dry quickly. As it absorbs sweat, it keeps our body cool. Do you know how? पसीना आता है, कपड़े गीले हो जाते हैं, और जब हवा चलती है तो वही गीले कपड़े हमें ठंडक का एहसास दिलाते हैं. Whereas do not absorb sweat, and that are synthetic fibers. They get dry very quickly. Natural fibers need strong ironing, whereas synthetic fibers needs very little ironing. A bit difficult to clean natural fibers because dirt stick them very hard, whereas synthetic fibers are very easy to clean. Sources of natural fibers. Students, there are two sources, natural sources from where we get fibers, and these two sources are plants and animals. In the case of plants, the parts from where we get fibers are stem, bark, leaf, seed, etc. And plant fibers are also called cellulosic fibers. Students, you must remember that plants have cellulose that we are not able to digest. Only animals can digest cellulose. We have read this in chapter 2. And that's why plant fibers are also called cellulosic fibers. And in the case of animals, we get fibers from hair or insect cocoon. And animal fibers are also called protein fibers, as proteins are present in them. Now students, let's study all the natural fibers one by one. Cotton, Students, cotton is very soft and durable, and that's why it is very comfortable to wear. It's also very cool to wear. Cool, why? Because we all know that it's a good absorbent of water, and therefore it gets wet when our body starts sweating. When we sit under fan or due to air, it feels cool and we feels comfortable. It gets wrinkles very easily. As a result, it's not possible for us to wear them again once we have worn them before washing and ironing. Cotton is grown at places which have warm climate and black soil. जहाँ का गर्म मौसम है और काली मिट्टी है, कॉटन वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से उगती है. Where is cotton grown in India? Students, look at the map. It says that Gujarat is the leading state in the production of cotton. Then followed by Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, etc. Other states are also produce cotton like Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, and some other states too. Now let me ask you a question. What type of temperature and climatic conditions are required for the growth of cotton plant? Yes, just now I have told the cultivation of cotton plants require high temperature, plenty of bright sunlight, long frost-free days and light rainfall. If a place is favorable for cotton temperature, it must have all these properties. Yes students, how is cotton obtained? Here you can find this flow chart showing you the cotton production. Students, we get cotton from cotton plants. The fruits of cotton plant are called cotton bolls. The cotton bolls are white in color and roughly spherical in shape. They are quite fluffy. Once the cotton bolls are mature, they burst open and we can see the seeds with cotton fibers. Now, the seeds with cotton fibers are picked or removed from cotton bolls by hand. After picking, they are taken to ginning plant where the fibers are separated from the seeds by combing. The process of separating cotton fibers from the seeds by combing is called ginning. Students, previously ginning was done by hand, but nowadays ginning machines are available which are called cotton gins. Cotton gins is a short form of cotton engine. It is a machine used to separate cotton fibers from seeds quickly and easily. The separated seeds can be used again to grow more cotton, but if the seeds are badly damaged, they are disposed of. The fibers are cleaned by machine to remove the impurities like leaves, twigs, etc. Once the cotton fiber is cleaned, it's spun into yarn. The process of making yarn from fibers is called spinning. The yarn is then woven to make fabric. Weaving is done by special machines called looms, which may be both hand operated or power operated. The finished fiber is then used to make useful products. Then comes knitting. Students, there is difference between weaving and knitting. In weaving, we used 2 strands, whereas in knitting needs only 1 single strand. So we can say in the process of knitting, a single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. Hand knitting is a conventional method of knitting, though it is also done by machines. Students, हम सबने अपने माँ के हाथों के बने स्वेटर पहने हैं और हाँ, उनसे सुंदर, उनसे खूबसूरत एहसास और किसी का नहीं होता, कितनी भी मशीन्स हम यूज कर लें। Let's learn about jute. It is also a natural fiber. It is cheapest also. It is also called golden fiber and it is used for making ropes, mats, packing materials, gunny bags, jute bags, carpets, etc. Now, where do we get jute in India or where is jute grown? Again, West Bengal is the leading state in the production of jute. Then it comes Bihar, Assam, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh. How is this obtained? Let's see. It's very trendy to bear or to carry jute bags with us, isn't it? But how is this jute obtained? Jute is obtained from the stem of jute bag. In the case of cotton, we used flower, but here we used stem. The plant is harvested at the flowering stage only. We are not allowing these flowers to get matured. At flowering stage only we harvest it. And once harvested, the stem of the plants are cut and they are kept in water for some days so that they can get rot. Then gradually stems get rot. The stems are then separated by hands. To make fabrics, all these fibers are converted into yarns. Now again, which type of climate and soil is required for the growth of jute plant? It's warm and humid climate which is best suited for the growth of jute plant. Now it's also well drained fertile soil is needed. High temperature favors the growth of jute plant. And that's why we have just seen map where eastern sector of our country is the leading producer of jute. Now silk. It's very soft to wear and we all love to wear silk. Yes, but it's also a natural fiber. But do you know that to get silk, we are killing silkworm cocoons as it is formed from the silkworm cocoon that the larva of silkworm spins around itself. And we all know that silk is used to make sarees, ties, suits, scarves, etc. And as silk doesn't allow our body heat to escape from our body, that's why it keeps our body hot and it is used especially in cold weather. Properties of silk. It's very strong and shiny. It keeps our body warm in cold weather. And it is a good absorbent of heat. Now, it's chilling, isn't it? It's mainly obtained from sheep. What? Wool, yes. Another natural fiber obtained from sheep. And we all know that wool is used to make sweaters, shawls, mufflers, scarves, gloves, blankets, etc. It is good absorbent of heat and warmth to wear, and that's why once we put on these woolen clothes, we don't feel cool. ठंड भाग जाती है. Wool traps the air between its fibers and does not allow our body heat to escape, and therefore we feel warm. Now students, let's learn one more, and that is linen. One more fiber which is also known as flax. It's linen. Flax plant produces fibers for linen cloth. It is fresh and cool to wear. it's durable too. It's a good absorbent of water. It dries very fast. It has the mixed properties of natural as well as synthetic fibers. It dries fast, whereas it keeps our body cool. And it is used to make aprons, bags, towels, runners, etc. Students, this chapter is only this much, and we will be learning this chapter in detail in our higher classes. I hope you have enjoyed learning this chapter with me, and wait for my next video with a new chapter of your class. Till now, thanks, good day, and thanks for watching, students.